What's a food combo that sounds disgusting until you try it? What is a very popular quote but is often misquoted? What's a dead giveaway that someone is not a good person? Nothing is ever their fault. Humility is the #1 key to being an adult when they cannot bring themselves to celebrate someone else's success. If you're that jealous of your friends, then oh my god, grow up. They remember you are their friend only when they need something from you. It's always about them. They're always the hero or always the victim in their stories. Can't take criticism, but probably dish it out to everyone else. They're never wrong. They constantly say or do things where their only justification for doing so is, it was just a joke, when called out on it. Throwing trash out of a car window. Littering. Alright class, all together now. Littering is dumb, and it makes you dumb too. When they say something ominous and there's a lightning strike, that is the true mark of a villain, so stay away from them. What's a dish that is popular in your culture, but foreigners find it disgusting? French people are typing. What do you mean? I love French fries. My great-grandfather fought in World War I, was captured, and was forced to live and work on an Austrian farm. The family on that farm was very nice to him, and they got along very well, all things considered. Somehow, his family got him a care package with ingredients to make his beloved Mama Liga, which he had craved for a long time. He was so excited, and he happily shared some with his hosts. Their response? Constantine, this is for the pigs. Quick preface, I'm gonna say all these wrong, you know that. Wheat la coche. It's a fungus that grows on corn. Root beer. Do people not like root beer? I mean, like, there's different brands, I guess. Black pudding. Ew, that sounds kind of gross, but I don't know what it looks like, so. People seem to not understand the allure of biscuits and gravy. People don't like biscuits and gravy? What's going on? Chicken hearts. Give me a whole plate of kebabs. Thank you, friends, for being grossed out. More for me. Apparently, many non-Americans find the concept of a PBJ, peanut butter and jelly, sandwich disgusting. Somebody did explain it to me that it's just like a texture thing, but I don't know, I've grown up with it forever, so I like it. Haggis. I visited Scotland for the first time, and my first thought after eating was, what is this amazing pile of brown? Ketchup chips. Isn't that a Canadian thing? Because you also have all-dressed chips, which is like ketchup and whatever else. Vegemite. Why can't you Americans understand that you don't eat it like Nutella? Beans on toast. Alright, admittedly I haven't tried it, but it just looks so gross. Just wet beans, ugh. Frog legs, but it's actually really good. Edit. I'm French, by the way. People who sit in the shower. Why? Sometimes I use the shower as a way to clear my head or escape my kids. Easier to cry. You can cry standing up. Never stand when you can sit. Now that I can get behind. I feel dizzy sometimes. Fair enough. I have a sofa in my shower. Oh, the smell of that thing has to be so bad. You're supposed to stand in the shower? My shower has a bench. Now that's the only one that really makes sense. If it's there, why would you ignore it? How do you pimp up your instant ramen? Egg. I would do this, but nobody's ever explained how I'm supposed to do it, so I don't want to just crack an egg and then have it be bad. Peanut butter and chili paste, baby! Add hoisin sauce. A quick Google shows that, yeah, that probably would. I boil an egg on top and add spinach. Spinach is an interesting addition. I might try it. Dried shiitake mushrooms, some sambal, and sesame oil. Mozzarella cheese, y'all. But cheese in soup, that seems kind of meh. Sliced mushrooms and peppers with some spinach. Maybe some tuna if I want protein, and some garlic powder. Guess I know what I'm having for lunch. Buy it a gold chain, teach it to yell at women. See, they're the only one that understood the assignment. But also don't yell at women, come on guys. What meal/snack do you eat when you're sad? Anything I find in the pantry, really. Mashed potatoes. Okay, Zach. Tortilla chips and homemade salad. I also eat this when I'm happy. Whenever, really. Doesn't matter. Just make sure it's junk and there's a lot of it. Didn't know you were eating my slices of bread straight out of the bag. I can't even make fun of that. Like, I do that, so. Chocolate chips straight from the bag. Now that is crossing a line. Peanut butter and bologna Sammy. Toasted if I'm extra sad. One of mom's weird combos, but I love it. And now with her gone, they're an even more special comfort. But peanut butter and bologna, Kraft mac and cheese. It just brings you back to simpler times. Cheese toasty when I want something savory, or whatever biscuits we have when I want something sweet sweet. Pretty much the things we always have in the house. Spicy popcorn. Now, how do you go about it? Do you just dump like sriracha or like chili powder? 3 a.m. bowl of cereal. Cereal killer. What's your one discontinued fast food menu item you want back? Taco Bell, if you're listening, please bring the loaded grillers back. Just for a day. Just let me have the potato one, please. McDonald's snack wraps. I don't know if I ever had a chance to try them. The volcano burritos from Taco Bell were my fave fast food item ever. Double-decker taco. McDonald's steak, egg, and cheese bagel. McDonald's had bagels? That's awesome. Well, it is still McDonald's. Taco Bell chili cheese burrito. Taco Bell really just has a lot of weird things they've tried over the years. McDonald's fried apple pies. They still have apple pies, right? I'm guessing they're just no longer fried. Burger King chicken fries and KFC popcorn chicken. Technically both are still available, but today's versions are inferior to the goodness I remember them tasting like as a kid. KFC Twister. I have not had KFC in so long, so I don't know what any of these ones are. McDonald Land cookies. They've been gone for years now, but I'm still not over it. Burger King's Angry Whopper. I want that Halloween Whopper back where it was like black buns for some reason. Not really fast food, but the Choco Taco ice cream deserved a 21-gun salute. McDonald's shakes from the 90s. I remember how thick and amazing they were. Your face would go blue trying to suck them through a straw. Now they just taste like thin, overly sweet syrup. The consistency is all sorts of messed up. What's something that a person turning 30 probably should have done already? Be better than they were at 29. Don't run someone else's race. Just run yours and get better at it. Learn to stop living up to the suggestions/expectations of strangers on the internet. Stared up at the stars at night and gloried at the wonders of the universe. They probably had that done at like age 10, so they're probably good. Learn how to cook. That's something you should learn before your 20s, I think. Understand there's more to life than drinking yourself into a coma every weekend. This is very true. It is very unhealthy as well. Done taxes by themselves. You see, but that's an impossible task. Who do you think I am, Sisyphus? I'm not messing with that. What was for you the best part of the pandemic? Not much, because I had to just work the whole time and I had to talk to people who didn't want to wear masks. I got furloughed. It meant I got to spend the pandemic shielding with my wife before she passed away last year. Words can't describe how grateful I am that I got so much extra quality time with my wife. Would have been impossible to have that much time if I had to be working full time. I guess there were some good things from the pandemic. No traffic. I would argue that statement. Lost 60 pounds. Wife lost 75. We were fat. We're not anymore. Way to go. I think your lost weight was found by many others over the pandemic. Ironically, not getting sick. Spending time with aging pets. I had to put down a cat, and the last few months he got to lay on my keyboard and purr all day. I also have an old dog who is nearing the end, and I'm really happy I had those months at home with her. Work from home has been legitimized in an unprecedented way. Once again, if anybody knows how to get one of them work from home jobs, please let me know. I don't like going outside. Not having to get up early in the morning. Again, I would argue against this. People standing 6+ feet away from me at all times. Big if true, but if you have that one party pooper at the store, then My hermiting was normal. Oh yeah, the pandemic was great for introverts. I had 2 friends that I hung out with almost every night. They were just as isolated as I was during the day, so we weren't too worried about passing anything. None of us got sick. Spent the nights drinking, having bonfires, and talking. Good times. Some of the best. People suddenly stopped expecting me to go be social. I got to spend months on end without having to decline a single invitation. It was so nice. Due to the stimulus checks, I was able to leave a toxic and abusive job without a job lined up ahead of time. Who was the most unlikable main character of a TV show? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. All 5 of them are goddamn trash. I couldn't love them more. Piper Chapman on Orange is the New Black. Walter White. Every choice he makes puts his family at risk, he refuses help out of stupid pride, and he's arrogant, and he wound up getting at least 160 people killed. He's a brilliant chemist, but a terrible businessman and an evil person. As a kid, I loathed Dr. Smith on Lost in Space. I didn't understand why they didn't just friggin' murder him. Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory went from a clueless, socially awkward side character in the first couple of years to a self-centered, narcissistic bully. I don't know why they ever hung out with him. BoJack Horseman, though I suppose that's the point. Ted from How I Met Your Mother is just the worst. June on Handmaid's Tale. She had gotten multiple people killed through her selfish actions. This current season is just just a power fantasy from the writers and ends every episode with her staring at the camera menacingly. I love that show, but I noticed like 60% of it is close-ups on Elizabeth Moss's face, LMAO, and her mouth is always frigging open. Ross from Friends. I hate him so much, and he doesn't even eat the smaller friends to assert dominance, which makes him suck twice as much. Every single character on Succession is the worst person in the world. Raymond on Everybody Loves Raymond. Conceited little bastard. Dora. She was so annoying, even for a 6-year-old. Rachel Berry from Glee. She was a bitch and never got what she deserved. House. A person like that in real life would be unbearable. I've seen clips of the show and I'm pretty sure he violates so many medical laws. What should you never cheap out on? Legal advice. I hope I never have to get a lawyer because A, I can't afford one, and B, I wouldn't be able to afford a good one. Shoes and a bed. You spend a good chunk of your life in one or the other. Your teeth. You only get the one set, and tooth infections can set you back tens of thousands. Brush twice a day, floss a couple times a week, and do your best to scrounge up the $200 a year for a professional cleaning. However, doing more than this is better if possible. Yeah, tell that to my 9 cavities and my empty wallet. Tools. Buy cheap tools once. If you use it enough to wear it out or break it, buy the nicest version of that tool you can afford. Kind of like a trial run, I guess. If you're a hiker / camper / backpacker, your actual backpack. Tattoos. I suppose, I mean in the general sense to avoid infection. Eye surgery. Yeah, don't want to go dead spacing yourself now, do you? A quality PSU when building a PC. Don't want to start a fire, so yeah. What food will you never eat again? At the rehearsal dinner for my brother's wedding, they served pumpkin soup with lavender sprinkled on top. I don't like pumpkin, but I took a few sips of the soup out of politeness. It wasn't the pumpkin that made me gag though, it was the lavender. I'm getting a little nauseated just thinking about it, and this was nearly 20 years ago. The taste in my mouth from the lavender lasted longer than my brother's marriage. Oh, why'd you have to burn him like that? Octopus. It tasted fine, but in the years since I ate it, I decided I wouldn't eat the hyper-intelligent animals. So only humans now. Sea urchin. I always wanted to try it after watching chefs treat it like a delicious treasure. I went to a top-end Austin sushi restaurant and gave it a go. Its texture was like an egg yolk, the slightest membrane holding a thick liquid together. It bursts in your mouth and filling it with sea snot. Never again. That's not the experience I had with it. It tasted like scratchy Play-Doh going down your throat and My college made these spicy chicken wraps that were probably one of the best foods I've ever eaten. Not only do I live states away from where I went to college, but the last I heard, they changed the wrap station to something else entirely, so I'll probably never eat one again, even though I really wish I could. That nasty stir fry my wife keeps making. I don't know why she thinks it's so great, but it isn't. Alright buddy, maybe you should go and talk to her about it instead of putting her on blast on the internet? The food I ate yesterday, but r/technically the truth, mall Chinese, because I pooped on the floor while I was vomiting. Bread, not because I dislike it or anything, it's just that damn celiac disease, and the gluten-free stuff is just similar enough to make you miss the real thing, and at like 3 times the price. Up and Go. When I was 17, I found 1-liter bottles of the chocolate Up and Go on special for 75 cents cause they were on about to expire. I got really high that evening and guzzled the whole 3 liters. That night I woke up, took 3 steps, just made it to my kitchen sink and puked my absolute guts up. Collapsed back into bed, and in the morning, the sink looked like it was full of little twigs. 11 years later, and even the smell of that makes my stomach turn. Everyone over 18. What advice would you give a 17-year-old? Do not screw up your credit score in your early years. Take care of your teeth. Seriously, if you neglect them now, you'll be constantly emptying your wallet to fix them in the future. There are 7.7 billion people in the world. It's okay to be moderate. Enjoy every minute of your life as much as you can, and don't be in a rush to be older than you are at any age. Travel. Travel a lot. The experiences are priceless. You can always rebuild wealth, but you can never get back a moment of time. While I agree with this, people don't often just have money to go travel, and I'm not gonna get loans out so I can go fly across the countries. Something insignificant can change the trajectory of your whole life, and there's no such thing thing as going back. You are not important. I think they're phrasing this wrong, but I kind of agree. I think they really mean don't be a pompous a-hole because you have 300 followers on TikTok. What is the most quotable movie? Monty Python and the Holy Grail, The Princess Bride, Spaceballs, seeing a trend that it's all the funny spoof movies, Mean Girls. That is so fetch. Anchorman. I think my favorite part of Anchorman is when Jack Black kicks a dog off a bridge. Forrest Gump for sure. And I just started running. The Big Lebowski. Yeah, well, that's just, you know, like your opinion, man. Hot Fuzz. All right, sue me. I haven't watched Hot Fuzz yet. I'll get to it. Napoleon Dynamite. Remember, vote for Pedro. What snack is 10 out of 10? Sometimes a piece of toast with butter just hits so good. Going back to the medieval times, I see. My wife. His wife. Her husband. Definitely popcorn. I just wish movie theater popcorn would be like $3 instead of $30. Chips and guacamole. While I think guacamole is really good, it really depends on where you're getting it from. Apple slices with cinnamon. Ooh, I used to eat this all the time when I was a kid. Handful of dark chocolate chips. Then every handful after that. I'm gonna have to say no on that. Don't like dark chocolate. If you give me dark chocolate, I will spit on you. I'm kidding. I'm too scared to do that. Snickers. I was nervous when they were gonna get rid of the vein, but I'm glad it's there. Oreos and milk. Cookies and milk in general, I would say. Watermelon. Oh, it's just so nice on, like when you're having a really rough day, you just munch on in, just... Oh, Kinder Bueno is pretty amazing. Chocolate-covered pretzels. Dangerous. Oh, God, yeah, don't bring those near me. Doritos with dip, especially while gaming. I agree, but be careful, because you don't want all that Dorito dust to get all over your keyboard or your controller. It's bleh. French onion sun chips. Ooh, those are bangers. Cashews. I know it may sound ironic, but I'm not that big of a nut guy. How would you like to be executed? Death by snoo-snoo. Not very much. Well, unfortunately, you do have to choose because we're doing it anyways. Real talk? Probably general anesthesia. Just let me drift off to sleep. Does sound like the most peaceful way to go. I guess I'd want to follow in the footsteps of my great-grandfather. He flew a plane into some ships during World War II. Oh, no. Being hit with a foam ball once a day for 60 years till I die. Nuclear bomb. As long as I'm close enough to it to be instantly vaporized, I'm on board. Lather me in honey and stick me in a bear cage. I want witnesses too. Quick and painless. What's a common saying from your native language that sounds really weird when translated into English? My English isn't the yellow from the egg. I ripped my ass open to achieve this and that. Basically means I worked really hard to achieve this or that. I take care of my own onions, which basically means I mind my own business in Quebec. Je m'occupe de mes oignons. And to anyone French out there or French Canadian, I don't care. There is no cow on the ice. Close doesn't shoot the hare. Caught with your beard in the letterbox. Don't buy the pig in the bag. Swedish. I don't even know what those could mean. Let's show him where the fish pees from. Essentially, show him who's boss. Why would it be that? The turkey thought about Sunday, but Saturday its head was cut off. In my language, people say to the as you're disturbing me, obviously in a very offensive way, and to say that something sucks a lot. What a weird thing to say. I speak Arabic and Spanish, and in both languages they say change the air, which means go on a walk or breathe some fresh air. Spanish, cambiar aire. I would try to say the Arabic version, but I'm going to ruin it and I can't. I just can't. In Portuguese, pepper in the other's ass is refreshing. When something is cool in Germany, we say geil, which means horny. An example, this movie was so horny actually means this movie was so cool. What's your favorite way to say that's dumb or no, I will not consider your input without being rude? Just smile and nod, then completely ignore everything they said. This is my go-to move at work. Sorry, coworkers, if you're watching. An alternative method would be to, I'll keep that in mind, and instantly throw that out of your mind. I'll consider your input, then get back to you. That's nice. Anyways, unfortunately, I don't believe that would work the way you intend. I am more confident in this method. Yes, that's a thought. For for sure. That was a thought for sure. Thank you for sharing. I don't know, that could still be a little condescending. If you were given $1 billion tomorrow, what's the first thing you'd do? Welcome to McDonald's. What can I get started for you? I'd like a double Filet-O-Fish. Right away. Lawyer the f*** up. Oh yeah, so many people are gonna be coming for you. Take the day off. Honestly, just quit at that point. Change all my personal information. Change your name, change your house. I mean, because now you can afford one. I would spend it wisely in one day. I don't believe you. I'd hire a bunch of body doubles and have them slowly show up at a restaurant until there was no tables left. Retire. Yeah, I mean, you really don't have to do anything else after that point. Travel the world. And the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Celebratory masturbation. Yeah, but you can do that without $1 billion. If you were offered $1 million to sing an entire song with no mistakes, what song would you sing? I could sing Fly Me to the Moon, but I'd make a lot of mistakes. Happy birthday to you. No, that's a dangerous game, because what if they want a specific person's name and they don't tell you? Then you messed up and you don't get $1 million. The ABC song. Elimino P. I f***ed up. Tequila. I'd get the timing wrong. That does bring the question, are you singing it a cappella or do you have the backing track? My own song I wrote. Who the f*** are you to tell me I made a mistake? I wrote it. Anything that comes out of my mouth is exactly part of my song. Sing my song, collect the money. Thanks. Easy. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Most people don't know verse 3 to 5. There are more verses? Everyone in here is thinking in 2 dimensions. You are A, picking a song with lyrics, and B, assuming under pressure you won't make any mistakes. What constitutes a mistake is also amorphous. Is a change in intonation a mistake? What about a slight lisp or slight draw out of a word or bar? The only answer is 433 by John Cage. Not only is it not a song with lyrics, but it also doesn't even have music. You would just stand around, not uttering a sound, and collect your money. I guess don't sneeze though. Around the World by Daft Punk. Edit, or maybe Call on Me by Eric Prydz. That's more of an endurance and stamina contest at that point, because those songs just go on and on. Pokemon original theme song. But are you singing the full song or just the intro song from the show? Because it's cut down, but there's a lot more to it. What songs can a mute sing? Spanish national anthem. That one then. What normal thing in society can you just not wrap your head around? How so many people are invested in celebrity drama. I have enough in my social circle. I could care less about someone else's relationships on the other side of the country. Kardashians being worshipped. Do they do anything? Like, do they have clothing lines, makeup? I know the Jenners, whatever. Alcohol. It's genuinely just as bad as drugs, yet it's perfectly acceptable. I mean, I'd say weed is way more tame, and for some reason it's demonized as a drug. Being mature by having a boring job and wearing a sad button-up shirt while tucking your shirt into your jeans. No, you don't get it. I love being a corporate stiff that has no personality. Announcing you are having sex on the regular is weird, but tell family you are trying to have a baby and no one cares. Like, hey, I'm about to cream in your daughter later. Funeral wakes. I cannot understand putting an embalmed body on display for people to view. I know some people find it helpful to get closing, but it viscerally disturbs me. Yeah, that's why I'm opting just to get cremated, make me into dust, and I'm good. Mayonnaise. Just the idea of mayonnaise, or just what? What about it? Everything. Because the head isn't stretchable, nor can it bend around things. Alright, smarty pants. What is a very popular quote, but is often misquoted? Money is the root of all evil. That is a misquote. The real quote, the love of money is the root of all evil. Luke, I am your father. Oh yeah, that's just one of the biggest Mandela effects of all time. How the turntables. Oh yeah, that is misquoted. It's supposed to be how the table turners. If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it yourself. Einstein never said that. Most of his quotes are random things other people have said. You are what you eat is incorrect. It was, in French, tell me what you eat. I will tell you what you are. Let them eat cake. Marie Antoinette never said cake. She said, let them eat brioche, which is a type of rich bread made with eggs and butter. Just doesn't roll off the tongue though. I couldn't care less. I hate this one. If you could care less, it means you do actually care. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. The real quote is, one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. While Armstrong Armstrong stated that is what he intended to say, careful examination of the recordings does not support this. Most likely he intended to say one small step for a man, but got the line wrong when delivering it. It was just the heat of the moment. Give the guy some slack. The proof of the pudding is in the tasting. The proof is not in the pudding. How the F do you make friends as an adult if you don't drink? First step is to get a hobby. Then while doing that hobby, you will meet other people. People that you obviously have at least one thing in common with. I made some friends by volunteering. Step 1, don't drink. Step 2, make friends. I feel like we're missing some steps here. Get a dog. Dogs are kind of a gateway to people just coming up and talking to you. Gym. Yeah, but what if I'm lazy? I just hang out with my wife. She's all I've needed for the last 14 years. Same here. Your wife's all I've needed for the past 3 years. The simple answer is you don't. You see, once the human male reaches adulthood, any and all previous forms of joy or happiness are forgotten when the soul is crushed by the pressures of literally fucking everything in your life. Approach a random person and ask them if they want to be friends. You know, I tried this one. It doesn't really work because most of the people that I tried doing it to were like, why do you have a knife? And started running away. So I don't get it. Rock climbing for me. There's an indoor gym not far from my house. I'll actually agree with this one. Rock climbing is a pretty nice community to get into, and it's helped me kind of work past my fear of heights. Still there, but it's less. Lemon lime and bitters. No, they said not drinking. What's a food combo that sounds disgusting until you try it? I've never tried it, but I can only assume chicken and waffles must not be as gross as it sounds since it's everywhere in the South. I'm just not a huge fan of mixing two different flavors, savory and sweet. That just doesn't make sense to me. Nacho cheese Doritos dipped in sour cream. I promise it's actually really good. Peanut butter and rice. It's shockingly fine. I wouldn't call it good, but it's fine. I used to think mixing chili and mac and cheese looked disgusting until I tried it. It's not as bad as it looks. White rice with Campbell's tomato soup straight from the can. Mix ratio is whatever it is, oatmeal consistency, pinch of salt. Yum. I'm normally adventurous, but that just sounds like baby food. I'm not gonna go for that. And would you look at the time? I've got to get going. So thank you so much for watching once again. My name is Brandon, and I will see you some other time. Bye bye.